Gail Smith from the Human Rights Commission joins us. Ms. Smith, good afternoon to you and welcome. Before we talk about the consequences, is this a just sentence?
Well, I think that if the court has handed down the sentence, yes, then we respect it as a just sentence.
What signal then does this send out to other people who might be involved in the same sort of transgressions?
Well, you know, the sentencing sets a significant precedent in that it really does confirm the constitutional protection of human dignity. And we've seen that for too long people have not respected this aspect of the Constitution. The right to human dignity is a foundational value of the constitutional democracy. It's not an airy-fairy, kumbaya, pie-in-the-sky value. It's a human right, and it's enshrined in the Constitution. So to willfully injure someone's dignity, which in this case was done through the use of obscene and racially offensive language such as the K word, is an affront to the Constitution.
So what sort of message then does this send out to racists this afternoon?
Well, I think that it sends out the message that the court will not view these actions very favorably. I think it sends out the message that people do need to understand that the Constitution is the highest law in the land, and that the use of racial epithets and, you know, words such as the K word, the use of monkey and baboon, these are not value-neutral terms in the context of South Africa. They are very serious terms, and they shouldn't be taken lightly. And I think it's also it also sends a message that people who do feel affronted should turn to the courts for relief.
How do you build on the momentum of this particular decision within the broader South African society, given, Gail Smith, that you said is precedent-setting? Surely something like this needs to seed a lot more dialogue and debate to prevent this from happening in the future.
Well, this judgment has caused a lot of debate and discussion, which of course is very welcome. But I think it also confirms our own hate speech case against Ms. Momberg. You know, the commission had taken her to court for the violation of human rights based on hate speech. So it really confirms our action against her as well. And she was actually found guilty of hate speech, and she did not comply with the court order, and is currently also, we have filed papers for contempt of court. And yeah, I think people should take this very, very seriously. And I think it is a turning point, because obviously it sets a precedent.
Do you think that people like Vicki Momberg and others, too numerous to mention, can be rehabilitated?
I think anybody can be rehabilitated. I think that restorative justice is really sort of the foundation of our constitutional democracy. There's a recognition that people can be restored, and that we do have a lot to come to terms with. So yes, I do think that there is hope for people to be restored.
Notwithstanding the fact that as sentence was handed down, she was by and large unrepentant.
Well, I've been asked that question, and unfortunately we weren't in court to see that. So I would feel really uncomfortable commenting on something I really have no first-hand knowledge of. I mean, obviously we're, as the Human Rights Commission, not happy about the fact that she has, she's ignored a court order. The Equality Court found her guilty of hate speech, and she has ignored that court order. And perhaps the judge in this matter is familiar with our matter, and that could have had something to do with it.
To what extent then, in terms of the other matters, would you be pursuing this particular line of recourse, or does it end there for the HRC?
Well, this is a criminal matter. Remember, this is not a civil matter. So we don't take on criminal matters. We will continue to pursue civil matters in the Equality Court on future hate speech matters. So yeah, I mean, I think that this has been very useful in that I think it has brought home the seriousness of the matter, and we expect to see a lot more people coming forward, either going to take it to criminal court or bringing it to the Equality Court or to us.
Gail Smith speaks for the Human Rights Commission. Thank you very much indeed.